Okay, so let's talk about what to eat if you're adrenal body type. Adrenal types are stress eaters, okay? So they tend to snack a lot when they're stressed. They usually have either low blood sugar or a high blood sugar, okay? For that reason, we're gonna do a combination of the ketogenic diet and intermittent fasting, okay, which is really gonna help this because the cravings are gonna go down to zero, the hunger is gonna go down to zero, but we're gonna do it in a healthy way so you can maintain it long term. So when you do this, and you do this correctly, and you get into ketosis, which is fat burning, you're gonna be very surprised on how stable your mood is. It's gonna bring you up, and you're gonna stay there too. You're not gonna have the highs and the lows anymore because you're gonna be coming out of the blood sugar realm. But I think you're gonna be pretty surprised, happily surprised at the benefits with your cognitive function and your emotional state. I mean, with so many people, they tell me that. It's amazing. So we want to generally do a low carbohydrate. That means cutting out the sugar down to zero. Now, if you are upset about that, realize there's a lot of alternative pleasure foods you can consume, so it's not going to be depriving yourself. Okay, you just have to have certain types of healthy sugar-free type desserts. Not a problem. Hidden sugars, you know, here you are maybe drinking some wine each night to chill out, but that wine affects your blood sugars the next day and it keeps you in this cycle and also keeps you out of ketosis. So there's much better ways of reducing stress, which we'll cover shortly. Okay, so we want to do that. We want to have a low carb, but also unlimited vegetables. You need a lot of potassium. You need about 4,700 milligrams of potassium every single day. Why? Because potassium is a physiological relaxer. It is the mineral that will keep your nervous system and your adrenals chilled out. If I don't consume a lot of salad, I can feel I'm a little edgy. So you'll notice it when you start consuming more greens, but don't factor that into the 5% of the carbohydrate, all right? Which is right around 20 to 50 grams. And I'm pulling up some pictures right now just to kind of show you examples of what the meal should look like, okay, as we go through this. So unlimited vegetables, high fat. Now you might say, well, what about high fat? How is that going to help me? Well, adrenal cases need more fat to build more hormones. Hormones are made from fat, especially the adrenal hormones. So if you do a low-fat diet, you're not going to do very well. We're talking healthy fats, okay? But you want to consume them not in between the meal, but at the meal, because we're going to be doing intermittent fasting. We're going to start with 3 meals a day, no snacking. You're going to add fat to the meal to allow you to go from one meal to the next so you're not hungry, so you don't have to snack. So you adjust the fats to the point where you go from one meal to the next. So take a look right now of the picture that I'm pulling up here on a typical meal of fat. Even though it says 75% of your diet's fat, it's not that much. So intermittent fasting is very powerful to help correct these blood sugar issues that you're going up and down, up and down, up and down. So we're going to include that as well. So we go 3 meals, no snacks, and then for breakfast, you're going to, if you're not hungry, don't eat. What you want to do is you want to eat when you get hungry. Don't eat when you're not hungry. So you go from, let's say you are hungry at 8 o'clock in the morning. So you do this over a period of time, maybe a few days, until the point where you can push that 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock. Good, now you're eating at 9, 12, and let's say 6. And then you push it 1 more hour to 10 o'clock, and then 11 o'clock, and then 12 o'clock, gradually over a period of time to the point where you're just doing 2 meals a day. That's what I do. I do very, very well. In fact, you're going to find the benefits when you do this, but it's not hard if you do it gradually. You're not cutting calories, you're eating all the nutrients in those meals, but you're just not eating as frequent. It's a very powerful tool. You just have to experience it. So we want a lot of potassium from the vegetables, and you need 4,700 milligrams. That's 7 to 10 cups of salad every single day. Okay, very important. Apple cider vinegar with your water when you consume it, when you eat food, because that's going to help your digestion. Sea salt, if you're doing it correctly, you're going to need about a teaspoon of sea salt every single day. If you're doing a high carb, you're going to need less salt, maybe a fourth of a teaspoon. But with adrenals, they go through more salt, and you're going to have to consume more salt. All right? So now let's talk about the nutrients for the adrenal in the next video.